Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly
Show. What?
Sorry. Go, start again.
Oh, start again?
Yeah, you were muted.
Oh, I was muted. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. I am Dave Juskow here with Mike Suarez, as we are every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. This is the July 16th episode here to have a good time, promote the great Comedy Cellar, one of the greatest comedy clubs in the country. Do you realize if you were to come tonight, on the 7:30 show, which is only 90 minutes away, if you happen to be in the West Village, you'd be able to see Dave Attell for pennies at 7:30. Because remember, folks, he usually does the late show. What a treat that is. And the show's always stacked with people. And if you, of course, we have our room in Vegas at the Rio Hotel, where you can always see Mark Coco Cohen, our friend. And so you should always think about coming to the Comedy Cellar. There's 9 shows a night. It's open every day. Just make sure you make a reservation, because you do not want to stand on the standby line on a night like today or a night like tonight. It's really hot in New York City. All right. I don't see anybody in the chat room. Is my phone not working? I'm just making sure.
There's people here. No one said anything yet.
Okay. Everybody's here. I think I have my phone on. We're unprofessional sometimes. Anyway, let me introduce my guest. I'm so happy to have him here, and he came all the way from New Jersey. Oh, there we go, Elizabeth. Liz, I was asked the same thing. Where's my big chair? I don't know. I got to get that back. Hi, Barry. Anyway, let me introduce my guest. He will be, he's a comedian. He'll be next Saturday. He'll be at the Helltown Tap Room in beautiful Butler, Pennsylvania, which is hilarious.
Thank you.
Sunday at the Laughing Stop Comedy Club in Grantville, Pennsylvania. He'll be at the Comic Strip Live on the 26th of July. And Thursday, August 1st at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania. His new podcast is called Rock Strap.
Mm-hmm.
Please welcome Don Jamieson, everybody.
Whoa,
Hello,
it
John.
Sounds like I have things going on. And
you do.
Butler, PA, please.
That is hilarious.
I hope you don't have anything against all Donalds, because I'd like to get.
That's so fucked up that you're playing there. Like that might be the hot spot. Like to be.
I could, they need a laugh out there, don't they?
I guess. Yeah.
But I have people working the perimeter, checking out the roofs, and it's crazy because, you're watching that footage and it's so compelling, the assassination attempt and all that. And I'm seeing, it's ID'd up in the corner the whole time on the news feed, Butler, PA, Butler, PA, Butler, PA.
You're playing there.
But I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really, because I'm watching what's going on. And then I realize, I'm playing there a week from tonight.
I can't believe it.
So thank God Amazon has Kevlar vests. I got Prime, so it's coming tomorrow.
I thought maybe it might be canceled or something. They might close that whole town down because they have to do some investigations or something. I mean,
was Butler, PA ever really open?
Exactly. Well, you know what's funny? When they were around that kid's neighborhood or whatever, it looked beautiful. It looks like a great neighborhood.
It's like a Pittsburgh suburb, and myself and Jim Florentine are playing at it's called the Helltown Brewery, which is perfect for two metalheads like
the
us.
Helltown Tap Room.
Helltown Tap Room.
That's what it's called.
And they have like evil craft beers there and stuff. And like I want to be able to enjoy those. I like to drink. I like drinking beer without a bullet whizzing in my head.
Where's Grantville?
Grantville is on the way back. That's like in the Hershey area.
Oh, okay. So it's on the way back home.
A legit comedy club out there, the Laughing Stock Comedy Club.
Yeah.
So the way back gig,
Yeah. No, I like it. And just to get all this stuff out of the way, you sent me that you have a new podcast starting, Rockstrap. What is that going to be?
Starts next Monday, the 22nd of this month. And, obviously, for anybody who might know me, they might know me from doing that metal show on the one.
No,
exactly.
I've done no research on
that. And that Jamieson show. So I've spent like the last, almost 15 years interviewing rock stars.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm
It's so
still going to
cool.
be doing that with this, but myself and Keith Roth, who's a DJ on Sirius XM,
Oh, that's right. I knew that. Okay.
we're going to interview rock stars. We're going to interview them about sports.
Oh, I was going to say, I wonder if it's a sports and rock, because rock strap,
And then vice
Jockstrap.
versa. We're going to interview,
sports about rock.
jocks about rock, because how many times can you ask the same question? You got a new album out. It's their best album ever.
I agree. I know that I saw one of the episodes you did on that metal show, which was one of my favorite shows, with Mike Piazza. So I know that you have done this in the past with sports stars about music that like metal or rock, which is way cool. Way cool.
They'd way rather do that, because you know how sports guys talk in cliches the whole time.
Right.
Someone interviews them after the game. They got blown out. They lost 10-0 in a baseball game. It's like, well, how you feeling about the game tomorrow? And they want to say, F you and,
right.
Get on with their lives, but they have to be politically correct and say, well, it's a team game and tomorrow we're going to come out and we're going to try again. And we're proud of our team. And it's like, they want to talk about going to see Guns N' Roses and Metallica and stuff like that.
I love the plan.
And rockers the same way. It's like, how many times could you ask, what kind of guitar do you have? And what's your technique? Like, they'd rather talk about sports,
Well, I love that plan, and I really liked that metal show, because before you guys did that, I'm not in any way an aficionado of hard rock or metal or anything like that. I mean, but I love it, and I not the hard metal, but the hard rock. But what I really like is when somebody's really knowledgeable about stuff. So, like, if somebody knows about wine, like somebody that's not bullshitting, and they're like this, or beer. And like, I remember I did this article for Maxim magazine years ago in Washington, D.C. And I went to this bar, and this guy was explaining to me why this beer was this way or this way. And I loved it. I love that kind of talk. So when I first heard Eddie Trunk on K-Rock, I would listen to his show Friday nights, because the guy was so knowledgeable that even though I didn't know half the stuff he was talking about, I just, I was so impressed, and it was fun to listen to somebody like that.
Yeah.
And so then, your show was just fun and informal and yet informative as well, and it lasted 14 seasons.
14 seasons is not a bad run for three idiots from New Jersey, three doughy middle-aged white guys. I think we're the last three white guys on TV officially.
So when I met, I knew you for a while, but when I think about one of the first times I met you, you were working at MTV. Yeah. You were a producer there.
Yep.
And I remember I'd come in with this kid, Eric Palladino.
Yes.
It's coming back.
Who became an MTV VJ.
Right. He was an MTV VJ when I came in. We were on the show together at Comedy Central. And then he's like, I have to film my VJ. Come with me. And then he went to you and said, do you mind if we put this guy I just met on the show? And you were like, I know Juskow. Yeah. So I have that footage somewhere too. I taped it. It was the Dreamtime show, like late at night, but they let me do my Mr. Magoo imitation. It was like, I remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember everything about it because it was so exciting. So I was wondering if, because you had that producer in your blood, which you were a professional, did you get the show? Did you get VH1 did you create that metal show?
First of all, that whole thing with Eric Palladino, was that before or after me, you, and Attell pitched the show on MTV?
It had to have been before, because then I think we saw each other and said, why don't we do something else?
Yeah, because isn't it funny how we have these vivid memories of certain things? And like, my vivid memories are of all failures. Like the successes, I try to calm myself down and not get too excited about it. But the failures themselves. So we pitched a show called High Adventure with Dave Attell, which is like Dave jumping out of airplanes and doing crazy stuff.
I tried to find that script. I have it. I could picture it in my head. I know I have all my pitches. I tried to find it for today. I couldn't find it. Yeah, we tried to pitch. Right. It was, before Insomniac. Yes. That's what we were trying to do.
Right.
We just called it something else.
Yeah.
And it was him going around getting drunk all over and just doing stunts.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant plan. And I think he was on board with it too. He liked it, but
He came to the meeting with us wearing the same exact clothes he wears today. If you go to the Cellar tonight at 7:30, he'll be wearing this exact same outfit
that's right.
that he wore to the pitch meeting. And no, it was good, man. When I went to the other side of the camera, I was a writer and a producer already. I knew how shows were produced. I sat in edit rooms and edited shows. So I knew how cameras worked, and I knew about hitting your mark, and I knew about teleprompters and all that stuff. So that really did help. But the basis of the show really was unscripted, and just me and Eddie Trunk and Jim Florentine sitting around talking about this music that we've been obsessed with. Like you said, just this crazy knowledge that just comes from years of just living in that world. And thank God, because, the people, while they got the show on the air, they were not big metalheads. So,
Well, clearly there's VH1. I mean,
they really needed us to,
that was the station that played Hall and Oates. It was supposed to be the adult MTV.
But even then, they were doing like Celebrity Rehab and stuff at that time.
At that time, I guess
Basketball
at that time,
Wives.
okay.
So they weren't even in the music business basically anymore. But yeah, some of my friends that I had worked for behind the scenes at MTV were executives on our show, and people, 14 seasons. Listen, I'm proud of it, but the truth is there was no other show to compete with, so they had to keep renewing us.
I guess it's still really exciting, though. I mean, it's fun to go. But did you pitch the show?
Yeah, we pitched the show.
No, you were able. Okay, that was my major question. Like, because you had the experience to pitch a show and actually get it on. Like,
yeah, but Dave, like,
so what happened with us at High Adventure? I feel like I fucked it up.
But
I'm the problem.
No, like as you know very well, because I'm sure that you've pitched a million shows over the years. You do everything. You try to do everything right. You come in very professionally, and you have your presentation, and you know exactly why it's a perfect fit for this network, and you dress nicely, and your manners and everything. And I did like 10 pilots before that metal show. None of them got picked up.
Right.
So I was doing nothing. Everything I tried to do right didn't work out for me. So when this thing happened with Jim and Eddie, I said to Jim, I go, listen, nothing's going to happen with this. We know that. He'd been down that road too.
Right.
Let's just go get a free lunch off of VH1 and have fun. And we'll go into the city and have a good day. And I dressed basically like I'm dressed today. Concert shirt, cargo shorts, sneakers. And all we did the whole meeting was just bust Eddie Trunk's balls. Like, we were not barely serious at all. And we left there. Okay, we got lunch.
Obviously that guy understood, like, this is the show. And if they're just gonna, because you guys are funny, and so why can't we just, even if you don't like metal, you're gonna like this show because all they do is bust on each other.
Right. When that's
and
what
that guy
said.
got it.
They go, we don't even really know that much about hard rock and metal, but we love the chemistry between you.
Right.
Guys.
Obviously that guy was, who was it? It wasn't Dave Hamilton, was it?
No. It was Rick Krim and this woman, Michelle Dix, who later went to Access TV. But we came in with, 3 pieces of paper with ideas of things we thought we wanted to do on the show. And then 2 weeks later, they called us back and they go, we've been thinking about it. Why don't you come in for another meeting? And we went in and they go, so this is our idea for the show. And they handed back basically the same 3 pieces of paper, but on VH1 letterhead. And they go, this is our version of the show.
Wow.
And we looked through and we're like, wow, we never thought of these ideas.
Yeah, that's smart.
But,
to just say it that way, just because you want the show.
Like they added one extra idea.
Of course, that they do that all right. So they want to take, right, exactly. I was thinking, I went to VH1 with another show one day, like you said, I pitched a whole bunch of shows. And then I go, well, it's funny. Everybody tells me, and even it tells always like, I should do a show where people just follow me around and see my day. And the guy goes, well, we would buy that. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't want to do that one. Like, what an idiot. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Like, he was just like, yeah, we would do that. I don't see it. But now everybody always is fascinated.
You're always 6 months off from the trend.
Yeah.
That's what they'll always tell you. If you came in here 6 months ago,
yeah, I know,
we would have bought that.
God, I pitched so, now that you're making me think how many shows. The first one I ever pitched was called Behind the Mic. I'll never forget. It was like early 1990, if that, maybe 89. And it was about stand-up comics. And I was friends with all these guys at that time. And we would talk to them. There'd never been a show like that before. Now there's a million of them, right?
Yeah.
It's called Behind the Mic. And I bought it to this sports agency because my friend from college, his dad owned this big sports agency. And I dressed up in a jacket and tie. And later my friend goes, no, you're the talent. you're goofy. You don't dress up in a suit. And I'm like, oh, because I didn't know. And the guy, when he said it to, so you're saying you want $250,000 to make this? I'm like, geez, that much? Because I didn't.
Is that what I said?
I guess we asked for $250,000. I just wasn't thinking of it. When he said $250,000, I was like, well, I don't think we asked for that much. I guess, sure, yes, I guess that is. Well, now that you're saying it, this is a stupid show. I mean, that's a ridiculous amount back then. I don't know what I was thinking. These guys. Then I pitched a sports show called Bar Wars. It's all coming back. It was about a sports bar. Sports bars weren't big then, so he said, "Let's do a sports trivia show." And I came up with the theme song, which I still have, and brought it to these guys. And we were working with these. Bill Raftery. Who's
from the Nets. Who used to be the announcer for the Nets.
Yeah. And Duke Struck, all these big legends, and it was really exciting. And then they stole it, I think, and then ESPN put it on as some other name.
I hosted something called Beer Money for a couple seasons. That was on SNY, the Mets channel,
right?
Which is same.
But this must have
sports
been
trivia
way
show
before
you.
Bars. This was years. Yeah. This was.
I mean, I didn't take the idea.
No, I know that.
But that happens all the time.
It happens all the time. I don't know if we knew each other then, but do you remember when I was at Catch a Rising Star and I had that show called The Loft? I don't know how long you were around.
No.
This was 96. So I had a show because I don't know if you remember the newer Catch a Rising Star on 28th Street.
Yep.
And the background was like an apartment. It was cool. So we made this show where I had a live show every Tuesday, and all my friends would come on, and then I'd have guests like Richard Belzer came out because Rick Newman knew all these people, Joy Behar, and all these people would come on. It was really fun. And MTV just completely took it. They just took it and they called it The Apartment, and they put the Sklar brothers in, and this is why I hate them for the rest of my life.
It was called Apartment 2F.
Apartment 2.
And I know that because I worked on that show.
Shut. Did you know that was me? Because they knew, they kind of admitted it and offered me something else.
Wow.
Knowing full well you didn't know.
I had no idea.
That's so funny.
I thought I created it.
I've hated the Sklar brothers to this day. They're annoying anyway. And the best part is that Zach Galifianakis was on that show.
That's right.
So he hates the Sklar brothers from that day. So that's how we bonded. He was
and
that
Colbert
I didn't
was
know.
A recurring character, and Amy Poehler.
No, this was my show.
Yeah.
I pitched it to MTV.
Yeah.
And then they totally stole it, and they admitted it, and everyone in town knew it.
MTV had a show called Boiling Points, and it was a hidden camera comedy show where they tried to see how far they could push people. And they took a couple, and Jim Florentine and I went in and pitched this web series that we were doing, actually with Comedy Central, called Meet the Creeps. And they totally lifted two of our ideas and just redid them. And I knew the executive because I had worked there, and I go, Bob, come on, man.
Yeah,
you know those bits are ours. There's parallel thought in comedy. I go, Bob, come on.
They were known for doing
paid.
That. Oh, you did. They were known for doing that.
Yeah.
So for me, instead of paying, I'll never forget. I was working at a law firm, and they offered me to be the head writer of a game show that Greg Fitzsimmons was the host of. I can't remember the name of it. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we can't offer you the head writer because we're going to have blowback from the people that are already on it. It was called Idiot something.
Idiot
Savant.
Idiot Savant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, we can't because we're going to have blowback from the people that, that you're just coming in as the head writer. And they're like, but we can just give you a writing position. I'm like, go fuck yourself. As I was changing the toner cartridge at my job. And then I realized pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. And I never recovered from there. My entire life, the trajectory could have been completely different, especially being the head writer, because those people always go from job to job, all the time. Who knows what could have happened? But yeah, they tried to make it right in a sense, clearly knowing they had stolen it.
Yeah, and they just figure like, okay, we got.
I can't believe you worked on that show. I'm sorry, it's freaking me out. That's so funny.
You don't like me?
No, of course I do. I could never not like you.
But they'll always bet like their legal department against what you got going on. Like, all right, if we take this, it's just like it's like people who write for SNL and steal they're out at the comedy clubs and they see somebody who's not a big name and they see a funny bit. Oh, that's a good sketch idea. And they're desperate the last day to get something on. And the performers have to rely on the writer being honest and not lifting someone else's idea. So that's why you see comics from New York, their ideas get on SNL.
Yeah, I know.
From their stage act, because people get desperate. They know they're going to get fired. If I don't get a sketch on this week, I'm fired.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Wasn't it Rick Shapiro, who's the worst, but Jay Moore took one of his bits, I think, and, just made it his own when we all knew it was Rick Shapiro's bit, but, who's going to challenge?
But when they were back in the day, and I didn't start comedy till after that 80s into the 90s boom.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know when you started.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't start till like 99.
Oh, okay.
So I missed all that. So always a good time to get started on things right after the boom. Although it's booming again.
It sure is.
Like
Yeah.
20.
Although Attell says it's almost over, but he's wrong.
Well, he's always booming, but
Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't see it that way.
Which is why we love him. But, back then, every station had a stand-up show, right?
Yep.
MTV had a comedy show. Comedy Central had a show. The Weather Channel had
A&E.
a comedy show. Everyone had
A&E was the starting from the evening at the Improv.
Evening at the Improv. And so the race back then was if you could get it on TV first, it was your bit. So that's what you would see. Comics would steal a bit. Like, there's Dana Carvey apparently was stealing. Robin Williams would steal bits. So
Robin Williams is a legendary.
Right, legendary thief.
Well, that's why I didn't care for Rich Jenny. I believe he stole my bit that I did when he was hosting Caroline's Comedy Hour, and then he kind of stole the bit I did on the show. So I've never liked him, and tragic ending didn't really bother me. But
you came up with Platypus Man?
There was a whole Apartment 2F episode about that.
Oh my God, I hate those guys. Did you hate working with the Squires? Just tell me you did, please.
No, I
at least Zach tells me he did. He hates them.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I gave them their start too, so they stabbed me in the back. I mentored them, kind of like I brought them on stage first time. I had them in my show all the time, and really tried. All right, granted, my favorite bit was going like, but how could you? But you were just. I was doing the Bugs Bunny thing, and they didn't find that funny. But I'm like, fuck, if you don't find that funny, you stink. But how could you? But you were just. But I just. I mean, that's always going to be funny.
I've worked with people way more difficult.
Oh, I guarantee.
I mean, I worked on Tom Green's show when he was on MTV.
Oh, I heard he's the worst.
And Tom,
crazy, just like Andy Dick crazy. A little bit. Nobody's crazier than Andy Dick, right?
Yeah, I also worked with once behind the scenes as a writer for the Video Music Awards, but I got him sober, so he was okay.
Really? Oh, you got him sober that day. You didn't.
No. He came in.
You're not
sober.
responsible.
I don't know
if he even is.
He left, but Tom Green was very difficult to. But I had a blast working with him. But then I was starting to do comedy, and I started to understand, like, when your name's on something, you want it to be your way.
Of course.
So sometimes you are resentful of the people behind the scenes who are trying to, like,
we get that. That's why, you hear people like Roseanne going crazy, but the fact of the matter is it's called Roseanne.
Right.
So, give her a break. If she wants something, her name's on the show. She's responsible. No matter what the writers do, whatever, it's her name at the end of the day. So I totally get that. That makes a lot of sense. I have this thing I want to kind of first. Let's talk about, because I know you got to go.
We're just getting going.
I know, but I'm worried that I want you to catch your boat.
That I have to go. Okay.
Oh no, that's me. I have something to say. All right, let's just start, because I got these slides that I do.
Okay.
And we do them every week, and I want to. I have a game that I want to play with you that I started doing last week, and I'm like, okay, this will be fun, because I wanted to do Name That Tune with the metal, but YouTube doesn't let us play it.
Right.
So So I didn't want this to be blocked or anything. So I got pictures instead. So we're gonna go, but let's just talk about what happened 2 Saturdays ago, since you don't seem to mind. I wasn't sure how you felt. You and we hadn't seen each other in years.
Yeah.
And then we went to this bar, which is why I want to move to New Jersey, because we went to this bar, Salty's, in Belmar. And I love going to the shore, and I love hanging out with Victoria and Lou, and even my old girlfriend that day was there. And I like hanging out at that area, and you live around that area.
And Hubba, by the way.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hadn't seen her in a long
Wait, this
time. Either.
incident is not why you want to move to Jersey. It's
No.
It's the whole Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
vibe,
and then it was like
hang out in the summer, go see bands.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's like
yeah.
it's kind of like it's like not growing up, you know, but I always have to go. I know I have to go home. So like at midnight, 12:30, I'm like, oh crap, I got a 90-minute drive ahead of me. So then it kind of is a buzzkill, obviously.
Yeah.
So before COVID, I really thought I could get an additional place down the shore, which would be perfect. Not even for the summer. I like it there in the wintertime too. I like the depressionness of it. You know, it's like a Swedish film down there or something. But I don't know. There's something about it. But I'm afraid to leave. I want to leave New York.
Everybody talks. There's subtitles.
Exactly. But I'm afraid to leave New York because I'm like, I got to try it first. Anyway, we go to this place and it's so good to see you. And we're there to see our friend Laddie playing his band. And I start slam dancing as a joke and a callback, you know, to the olden days. I used to see the Ramones all the time. They were my favorite
Remember,
band.
there was these like 15, 16-year-old kids.
Oh, right. That's right.
Slam dancing in front of us.
Oh, that's what started it. That's
right. And I loved that. That was so cool because they were bringing a lot of the energy into the room.
Yeah.
So you and I sort of did the old man version
right.
of moshing, where like I'm like barely,
right.
You can bump into me, but don't spill my drink.
Exactly right.
And these guys are like swinging their arms and like their legs are going up in the air, and they were having the best time.
Yeah,
ever.
and because there was nobody in front of us, like
No.
the band, it wasn't happening. Like people weren't going crazy or anything. So we were also trying to help our friend.
Sure, we're supporting him,
right?
But it's the old man mosh. We're basically rubbing shoulders. It was more gay than mosh,
pretty much. And you can see the beginnings of that. Don posted it on his Instagram page, where you can just see us going like we're slam dancing, and then all of a sudden, or as you put in your post, it was so much fun until it wasn't. This crazy weirdo. You know, it's funny when you see the post, it's different. Came in and just, how would you describe it?
A freight train.
Yeah. He just.
From out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, he took it too far and crashed into you and hit you in the balls, right? I mean,
it was a double sort of assault. Like it was like the shoulder into my upper body, and then the stray arm nut shot.
Like he did that on purpose?
So where we were standing, remember, the whole floor was open.
Yeah.
Except for those kids would run through and they do the mosh thing. But right by the stage was like 3 hardcore bikers.
Right.
Like skinhead type of guys. Because Salty's is a biker bar.
I found that out after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys were hammered.
Oh, okay.
And for whatever reason, the guy saw me and you goofing around, and he obviously thought it would be hilarious.
Yeah, he wasn't even doing it to be a dick, I guess. I mean, maybe, but right, he got into it. I feel like it's my fault. Like I started it somehow.
If he wasn't trying to be a dick, he failed colossally.
Right.
Because I was drinking a Miller
Lite
aluminum
bottle, yeah.
And after he hit me, it was flat, like a truck ran it over.
Yeah.
That's how hard he hit.
Oh yeah, no, it was like almost in 2.
Yeah. Even Lou's wife Victoria like picked up the can and showed the bartender, "This is what that guy did."
Yeah.
She goes, "Who, that guy over there? He's the promoter."
That's what he was. I know they said he worked here. He was the promoter
of the night. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was glad Victoria went to the bar. That bartender did nothing. And I think it's a friend of my girlfriend's boyfriend now, and I'm upset that nothing was done. Or maybe something was.
This head of security came over to me, and he was just like, I was like, because I went back by the men's room.
There was security there?
There was a head of security. There's no staff, but just a head of security.
No, I know you went to the men's room. I followed you there.
I went because I had to double. He hit me.
I didn't realize
me,
that. So I didn't know why you were. I was trying to follow you and just kind of be, "Are you all right?" But I think you wanted to be alone for a second.
Yeah, because I just needed a breather. Yeah. And then when as I was walking back, I was face to face with him. And I was like, well, what do you say here? Like, I was just going to say,
I
hey,
didn't
not
know that.
cool, man. But then it's just like, you know what? This guy's, he's annihilated drunk. He's obviously an angry dude. I don't need a punch in the face from this guy who's twice my size,
Right.
who's, he's not, this guy's not listening to reason.
Well, I thought it was weird because when you see the video, then you see him do it to his friends afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice that?
No.
At the end, it zooms over where he goes back and does it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, I guess he didn't do it on purpose. I thought maybe he did it on purpose for some reason. But then he was clearly just messed up, like you said, and then went back. He just wanted to have fun, I guess, but it's the worst way to have. He's the promoter.
Yeah.
Is he still working there? Shouldn't he be in jail? I mean, that's assault.
It was assault, but I guess
I'm just glad you're okay. I was very uptight.
No, everybody, you guys are all awesome.
You handled it really well. You were back out again.
He never got me down.
Yeah,
I was like,
no, you did
De
not.
Niro on Raging Bull.
No, and your beer was like totally. I mean, really, it was very impressive that you continued the night and kept drinking. And I mean, I think I just wanted to buy you another beer for starters.
And that was my first one, so I was bummed. I was just starting to enjoy it. So
I'm so sorry that happened.
But
yeah, so weird.
So that was your test run at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, apparently, I guess.
But no, it was all good, man. But you guys all stuck up for me. I appreciate it.
Well, of course, it was so fucked up. I mean,
but if you see the video on my Instagram, it is. It's funny to me. That's why I posted, because you literally see a freight train.
Yeah,
go flying.
It just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, it's almost like as if it's staged, and it's a unfortunate great Instagram post. But yeah, I'm so sorry that happened, and yet.
Well,
being
love
an stories like
influencer
that. Right? I love Jersey Shore stories like that. It is funny. I mean, when you tell people like, "What did you do today?" Over the weekend, I'm like, "You're not going to believe what happened."
Yeah, I saw a skinhead knock out an old friend.
I know, and it's so funny because after that, like, does that place ever fill up? Because most people were just hanging out outside. Maybe in the winter it does. Because then we went outside just to hang out, which was much more pleasant, really.
Yeah, and then they told him he wasn't allowed outside.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Oh, so at least there was some form of security, I guess.
So I gotta have the indoor-outdoor.
Oh, I'm so glad. I was glad because I was wondering what happened to him. I heard he was told to leave by, I don't know who said that though.
Well, no, because he had to pay the band, so he couldn't leave, but he couldn't come.
He was the guy paying the band?
Yeah.
I almost wish I kind of want to call down there. I mean, if I lived there, I might have. Well, I wouldn't have done anything. I don't know. I'm upset by that.
Now I know how Chris Rock felt when Will Smith.
And that's the other thing. This fucking guy Will Smith. The worst thing that happened. Bad Boys 4 made money, and now he thinks he's back.
Right.
And he was at the BET Awards, like he's all that. I fucking hate this guy now. I used to love Will Smith. I thought all his movies were great. I liked his music. I liked Fresh Prince. I thought it was funny. And after that, I just want him to not do well ever again, because we like Chris Rock. He's or I do, I guess.
Look, well, whether you like him or not, to do that at the biggest event on national TV is so fucked
and he didn't
up.
get punished enough. And that's what's pissing me off. And
Right.
it's pissing Chris Rock off. And Chris Rock is, for the rest of his life, is tacked to that, which was really annoying. And
that started this whole trend that comics getting attacked on stage.
I know.
Or at Jersey Shore bars.
Yeah.
They're not even performing.
We're not even performing, right?
Chappelle got attacked on stage.
Yeah. No, I know. There's a third part.
Craig Robinson. Craig Robinson had an active shooter.
What?
At a show in North Carolina. Yeah.
To shoot Craig Robinson?
I don't know, but
well, I know Sarah Silverman is going on tour, and she's one of those people that riles up people that don't have her same views. So I think she's spending quite a bit of money on unfortunate security that wouldn't have to be that way since Will Smith.
She definitely shouldn't hire Trump's Secret Service.
Apparently not. Jesus Christ, right? There's no way to win.
There'll be a sniper on the PA.
That's so messed up.
That's all right.
And it's going to be kind of, the weird thing about this, and we're glad. I mean, it's unfortunate somebody died, but I'm glad Trump didn't die.
Brutal.
But it's also exciting to find out more about this idiot and the Secret Service and how it's going to be. I mean, people enjoy this unfortunate type of story, because the more we get every day, there's more information, and they're gonna. I mean, people just will come up with the cell phone footage, be like, somebody's gonna be like, that guy with the rifle, he's up on top. You should do something about it. Nah, he works here. He's a promoter.
He's a promoter. That's right. Maybe he was. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna find all that stuff out, and it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so there's more I could talk to you about, but I really want to play this game. So, Mike, should we go to the slides? Do you mind?
Well, the ones.
Oh, the second set of slides that we usually do with the intro.
Okay,
not the news ones, because I don't want to waste any time.
Now, where do we see these slides?
On the
screen over here?
On the screen.
Yeah, 1 second to prep it.
Yeah, it's a little back, but so I do this every week, and it's like news slides, and we have and we just make fun.
All right.
All right. Here's the first one. We usually start with something that's going. I didn't want to do the shooting thing. That was too obvious. But yeah, this is Biden. This is before. I mean, there's not one attractive person there, which was pissing me off, because I thought, and I'm not a Democrat, but I thought that would be the fun to join the Democrats, because I thought they were all hot girls. What the hell? What is that?
No, the MAGA girls are way hotter.
You think so?
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, then I'm doing the right thing.
No, for sure.
All right, let's go to the
Not
next
that it
one.
matters.
It totally matters.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. And that was the NATO thing.
Was that real though?
Right.
Pass the torch, Joe?
Yeah, no, that's
right.
right.
Actually hold that up?
Yeah. You go to the last one, Mike, the
People have
one before.
It's amazing that people have no shame anymore.
Oh, right. They're right in front. You know what? I didn't even notice that right in front of them. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And especially a crowd of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's
one guy can infiltrate that.
It's bad in every way.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, go to that's that stupid NATO thing. But
You know what? Everyone loves this guy.
That's good that Drew Carey made it to the rally.
Hey, go to the next one. Right, this is the new British Prime Minister. He won his name, Keir Starmer. He won in a landslide. It went the opposite direction from what
I can't wait to hear Biden try to pronounce that.
Yeah.
I was talking to
what's the next one, Mike? It's the loser. And this guy, he's like, I should have done more. In fact, and the best part is the way, when I saw this picture, as he is the loser, it reminded me, I don't know if you remember the old Brady Bunch episode. If you go to the next one, Mike, where Bobby lost that ice cream eating contest, he has the same expression.
This is why you're beloved. That you instantly put those two images together in your
It came
mind.
to me right away. I mean, it's like, I didn't even be like, ooh, I got something. I mean, I was just like, he's making that same face as Bobby Brady did 50 years ago. This is the way my mind works.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, this is a friend of mine said, we have a mutual friend who's in a band at the Jersey Shore, goes, what cartoon character does Gene remind you? Foghorn Leghorn. Like
you knew right
didn't
away.
even finish.
I say.
And I just knew it right away. And he fell over dying laughing because I came up with it so quickly.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love that your mind works that way, where you can recall something so quickly that's so perfect.
And then I go crazy because I think, what's the next one, Mike? Because I think, is it similar? I can't remember. Was it another Brady Bunch or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the kid who won. The fat kid. The fat kid won the ice cream eating contest. I always remember him like, he's just like, let me in, I'm starving. Like Willy Wonka. Right.
Real quick, Marks, you thought you photoshopped that pass the torch sign.
Oh, no, I did not. Yeah, no. What's the next one, Mike? Oh, right. That's also France. There was an election like upset as well. There's all these which, I wonder if Biden wins, if that would be considered an upset here at this point.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, last week we showed the picture of the elections, and maybe this is what happened. If you go to the next one, Mike, is that the dog was voting, and that could have, and it was also held during a Renaissance fair. So I think there was just a lot of problems in France that week.
See, this is why we need common sense voting laws in this country. No drop boxes at the Ren Fair.
Right, exactly.
And no domesticated pets voting in the 2024 election.
Well, and that obviously it didn't work in France.
Feral animals only.
Right. Feral, yeah, I agree with feral animals, okay. But the domesticated ones, they have to.
That dog, who'd you vote for? What's the next one, Mike? Right. You heard about Alec Baldwin. Well, this is when he wasn't sure what was happening. I guess that's his wife, the crazy wife, comforting. If you go to the next one, this is when he found out he was off on the charges, which I'm okay with because I think they got it right. If you go to the next one, Mike, that's why I thought it wasn't going to work because Billy Baldwin was in the back, and I'm like, I would have just arrested him for his brother being there. Look at how annoying
Billy or
that guy
Steven?
Is that Billy Baldwin?
It is Billy Baldwin.
God, I thought Brian Regan was at this. I'm having a sandwich.
You too.
You too. Me
You
too.
too. Right. Oh, what's the next one, Mike? It's yeah. Oh, that's him. I thought he was going to punch one of the photographers. That would have been awesome. He walks out. He's still angry, and
yeah, right. He's finally rehabilitated his image.
He's so happy he's not going to jail, but he's still angry at the reporters. That would have been epic.
Well, let's see. I can't wait for his reality show.
Oh, you think they're really doing one?
Yeah, with all the 7 kids and the fake Spanish wife and all that.
Yeah, the fake Spanish.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid. He hates that shit. Why would he do that?
Well, because he probably thought he was going to jail.
Oh,
for the next 5
right.
years,
So he wanted to see. Oh, good point. Well,
maybe.
so if you go to the next one, that girl did go to jail, and I think deservedly so. Look at her. First of all, she looks like an asshole, and she wasn't paying attention. She was taking photos like this. She was like that guy who put the La La Land as the correct winner of the best picture of the year because he was getting autographs or selfies with other people.
Yeah,
that's what she was doing instead of making sure the gun wasn't loaded.
Yeah, no, I got you. Listen, Alec Baldwin is so detestable in so many ways.
Right.
But I can't blame him on that.
No, I don't
someone
think,
on movie set, someone hands you a gun.
But he hired her technically as the producer.
Right.
But anyway, if you go to the next one, she has she's so despicable. Look at her. These are her modeling shots before she went to prison. For real.
That's true.
Look at the next one. She's, that's kind of hot.
Oh, she likes metal.
Yeah. See, maybe you like her.
Are there conjugal visits?
Gutierrez. Probably. She's only in for a couple of months, but I hated her the first day I saw that picture. I don't know why.
I think we all know convict sex is the best sex.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
What's the next one, Mike? I'm just trying to breeze through. Oh, that's the Tour de France. I love when somebody falls. It really makes me happy. I don't know why, because they're so stupid. It's such a stupid race.
Yeah, look at these. You've been to France?
No, never.
I mean, some of these roads are so.
Have you been there?
Oh God, yeah. But
is it fun?
Yeah. I always had good times in France, but some of these roads, like some of these old streets, are so narrow. I didn't even know they were still doing the Tour de France.
No, they still do it.
Lance Armstrong was out. I figured.
Yeah,
he stopped,
I know. No, that's why we didn't know about it.
Yeah.
That's why it's not as popular
that's why
anymore.
we don't know about it anymore.
Yeah. What's the next one, Mike? Oh yeah. Oh, so yeah. What's this bit? This lady had an 85-year-old ash tree was uprooted by Hurricane Beryl. And that's right. Did you watch the Larry Sanders Show? Did you worship it?
I didn't worship it.
No. There's a legendary episode. But I don't know how legendary it is yet. I don't know. But Bobcat Goldthwait. Do you remember when Bobcat Goldthwait trashed Jay Leno's The Tonight Show?
Yes.
Thing? Remember that?
The couch on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So Larry Sanders, they were kind of doing that bit. They were having him on. He goes, "Look, I know you're having me on because you want me to do it, but I'm not gonna." And they're like, "Yeah, don't do anything." They kept telling him not to do anything, hoping he would do something. So it was set up that Artie had this fern that he raised from a baby, like a plant. He's like, if he touches that fucking thing, I'll get him. So if you go to the next one, Mike, I took the clip from the show. He starts taking the chair and putting it in, but then it was the best. You go to the next picture. He went for the fern, and Artie just tackled him. Like as soon as he went for the fern, for some reason, again, that's where my mind went when I heard about that tree uprooted. Right. I kept thinking of Rip Torn going after him, and that's such a great episode because then they're like yelling at him and screaming. He goes, "I'm sorry," and then of course they high five after because they know the ratings are going to be sick. Classic. Yeah, such a good show.
So like, oh boy,
there was that. And that's again going to sleep behind her. 85-year-old tree.
Yeah,
falling over.
Let's just take a photo of this old lady trying to clean a tree off her house.
That tree looks stupid. Anyway, go to the next one. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't know if you heard about this. This is insane. This is Barcelona, and the people that live there hate tourists now, and they're shooting them with water guns, and they're telling them to leave town. Go to the next one, Mike. They're like, look, they're in the restaurants, and they're like, go home. Now, why you would? I mean, that now everybody knows I hate parades here in the city. I hate it, but here's tourists truly spending money at the restaurant. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Look at the next one, Mike. These poor kids are like, terrified because they're all yelling at them, trying to have a nice meal in Barcelona. I don't even know why. They're like, tourism is ruining everything, but isn't that where all their money comes from?
But what's with the water pistol? It's like, that's very passive aggressive. That's like saying, we hate you tourists, but it's a little steamy this time of year, and we don't want to see you overheat.
Obviously, idiots in Barcelona.
And Barcelona.
I think it has more to do with the tourist behavior than it does.
Well, of course, tourist behavior stinks, but the pictures we have here, it looks like these people were okay.
These two look like assholes. This guy is a prick.
You know what? I was going to say that, but I was trying to be polite.
I don't know who he is. I hope he gets punched in the face.
He looks like he's 12. What is he doing there? Yeah. I hope that's not his wife because she looks like she could be hot. What's the next picture?
Yeah, I don't mind if they attack ugly tourists.
Oh yeah, here it is. Look. Yeah, exactly. Tourists go home. You are not welcome. If we did that here, we would be arrested because this whole city relies on tourism.
Well, is it Barcelona with the running of the bulls?
I don't.
That's a good way to get rid of tourists.
Picture. Yeah. What's the next picture?
That is a very polite sign, though.
I know it's very well typed.
You are not welcome.
What the next picture I think is. Oh, no, that's in Thailand where they're shooting water pistols for fun or bubbles.
It's a bubble gun.
On a float because it's the Phai Thai Khan Festival in Thailand. But if you go to the next one, Mike, I think
of them will be lady boys.
Yeah. Well, this one's a human pinata for some reason.
We always like to. So the next one I think is the running of the bulls.
Yeah.
But, so that's in Barcelona, you think?
That's them getting the tourists out of town. We don't want 12-year-olds drinking white wine in our cafes.
Right. Good point.
Pamplona.
Pamplona.
All right.
What's that? Isn't that near Barcelona?
Yeah, it's a technicality.
It's close enough. Close enough.
It's a good point. Stop having that if you don't want stop having events that bring tourists in. That's an excellent point. Because if it's the next town over, they're like, well, they'll stop at Barcelona along the way. So your deal is with the other people. Why don't you spray those bulls with water guns, you fucking sissies? All right, I'm hoping.
I hate when the foreigners who they dislike me, they arm themselves by stopping at the party store first. It always ruins my day.
Zing. All right, now is the contest. Because we couldn't play music. Yeah. I want to see if you can guess. I'm hiding these answers from you.
Don't need them, my friend.
I know you don't.
I'm like Ralph on the $99,000 answer. I don't need them, my friend.
Okay, I just got pictures of bands.
Yep.
And see if you can guess who they are. They all look alike to a lot of the people who would be watching this, but I think you and I wouldn't know them right
it's
away.
Like a good five,
and you've had a lot of them.
Red wine. It's like
right.
to the amateur, they all look the same.
Exactly
the same.
Right.
Connoisseur.
All right, Mike. What's the? Oh wait, the next one isn't that one. Oh right. So we're talking about that metal show.
No, those idiots.
Right. There's Don and Eddie and Jim Florentine. That's the name of the show that ran for 14 seasons, which I believe you can now see on Apple. A lot of the episodes.
There's 3 or 4 seasons up there,
Right.
on Apple TV.
So cool.
Yeah.
What's the next picture, Mike? Right there they are. It's how inform. I like when you had the chops. I like you better this way. But the chops were an interesting idea at the time. You look a lot like Wolverine there.
It was.
You're a very handsome man.
So,
I've always thought that. The first day that I saw you on MTV, I'm like, he's very handsome. That's how he got this job.
trying to hold it together, Dave. I thank you.
Well, I don't.
I mean, in the company of those guys.
No.
You know what I mean?
General. But,
It's like,
anyway, so okay,
like
so
being
here's
the least
start.
slutty Kardashian. Not difficult.
All right, here's the first one. Who is this group?
Here we go.
Okay, for the picture.
Yeah.
As long as I get the first and last one.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Hey, come on.
No. I took all the names off this time, Mike. So you're okay. My first question was, and I didn't realize, is which is the best solo album?
Okay, that's good. Because I was going to guess the Mamas and the Papas. But
No, who has?
oh boy, it's dangerously close.
Oh, you have a close one because I always thought
Oh.
hands down
No.
it was one.
Ooh,
All right, what is your what? Oh, and now I got to hear why.
boy, if I could.
Liz says Florentine's pretty hot himself. How about
Yes,
that?
Elizabeth Florentine is he's a cutie. I agree with that. That was
All right, I've stumped
that was
you.
a nice- no, it's
No, I know it's not stumping, but
well,
I like that you
well,
have
it's
the,
obvious it's either Paul or Ace. If I had to just take one, if I could only have one of them, which one would I take? I'd probably take Ace.
most people say Ace's album is the only one to get, but you're making a case which I've never heard for Paul Stanley's
Paul's
album,
is
possibly.
really good.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never heard that. I've only heard Ace's. I know he's got the
Just-
one hit, which they actually still play in concert
Never Groove.
sometimes.
Yeah,
But I heard Peter Chris's is the worst, or that's what's considered.
yeah, because it's 50. A lot of.
So I guess
50s.
Paul's would be second. All right.
Yeah.
So you've heard them all. Do you? But you.
Well, I've
you-
had- I
but
have
they're
them all.
right.
on vinyl.
But when they first came out, you weren't old enough for that. I was old
Oh
enough
yeah,
when they first
no.
came out.
I
You were.
bought all 4 solo albums on vinyl,
You had
and then
to.
they all had the puzzle piece in. That was the front cover, and then you'd put the puzzle piece poster together on your wall.
They're so genius.
Yeah.
They were marketing. Gene Simmons was truly, even though we like making fun of him. And,
Yeah.
who's that kid? Craig Gass.
Craig
Is
Gass,
so
yeah,
good
yeah.
at doing the Gene Simmons.
Well, we did comedy shows at the comic strip the last 2 nights of the Kiss shows at the Garden. The last 2 Kiss shows ever.
Oh, I
we
wanted to
did
go.
Kiss themed
God.
comedy shows.
Oh,
at the comic
well,
strip.
I didn't know about
For the
that. I would have
fans who
gone to
couldn't
that.
Get into the show. They came up there and we did Kiss jokes for an hour and a half.
How did I know? All right, now I'm following.
Well, on their next
Instagram, so
farewell
I know.
tour, you come.
I
up.
really was upset that I didn't go, and now I'm more upset that I didn't go to the Kiss comedy show. Now that's funny. All right, Mike. Now the next one is the first one. You have to guess
All
who
right.
this band is. There's no time limit, but
Well, that's easy. That's Cinderella.
That's correct.
The Philadelphia area. And Eric Brittenham, the blonde guy.
yeah.
Well, we had Tom Kiefer, the guy to his right, came on that metal show, and we showed a picture of them. It was a famous picture of them standing outside of their tour bus, and Eric Brittenham had a bulge in his pants that you could not believe in a million years. So of course we put on a telestrator and Florentine to look at the mule
when
on
he
this
was
guy.
on, or
Yeah,
like-
when he was
that's
on
awesome.
there.
If you do it in front of him, it's even more. Well, why would he be upset?
And I
by
met him
that,
years
right?
later, and he's like, he goes, my friends and family still talk about it to this day from 10 years later.
Oh, damn it. It's like Spinal Tap. Well, we have
Yeah.
armadillos in our
Yeah.
houses. And, all right. See if, well, I think you'll know that.
So Cinderella, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
That's Dokken.
That's right.
We're rocking with Dokken.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Don Dokken. Actually, his solo album I really liked. I remember when it came out. I teach now at Montclair State University.
Okay.
I teach a film class, and I showed the kids the Dokken because it's actually I love the song from the Dream Warriors from
Yes.
Friday
Friday the 13th.
not Friday
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger 3, and showed them the music video. I've never seen people laugh so hard. They were like, no, you made this up, and I'm like, no, I didn't, because the band Dokken helps the Patricia Arquette get out of trouble and destroy Freddy with their musical guitars. It's one of the greatest music videos ever, and A lot of people don't know about it.
Well, a lot of people said Dokken would be the only one that could save Patricia Arquette.
Who said that? All right, what's the next one? I know you had this guy on your. I think you had this guy on your show.
Oh, that's Skid Row.
That's right. Boy, you're good. Well, of course you're good. But
Yeah.
wait, who's the guy? No, who am I thinking of? Yeah, who's the guy from Skid Row?
Well, Sebastian Bach.
Okay, Sebastian
who was a
Bach.
singer
And
down
you had
there.
him on the show.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
Sebastian.
that's right.
on.
I
Yeah,
knew that was
yeah.
a Sebastian Bach one.
But he hasn't been in the band in like 30 something years now.
I didn't even know they were still around.
Because they're still around. And they're like on their 7th different singer now.
Oh.
And they will not take him back for
Oh,
under any
you
circumstance.
mean he wants to come back?
Oh, in the worst way.
Why wouldn't that be financially viable for them?
I think it says a lot more about what they think of Sebastian.
I guess so.
Than
What do
being
you know
rich.
about him? Was he not? I mean, you met him. I mean, was he a douchebag? I mean,
For a few
he
million,
was the star. I mean, he was a big star because he was gorgeous. And
right for a few million
Sebastian
dollars.
Bach was in Gilmore Girls.
he was. No, Sebastian had a good run. He was on Broadway. He did Dr. Jekyll.
Oh,
and
that's
Mr.
right.
Hyde and
That's right. I
stuff. mean,
remember that.
He could still sing, but no, he's infamous for not being a good dude.
Wow.
And actually, there's a bit on one of my comedy albums about Sebastian Bach on my album Denim and Laughter, because we did a roast of the singer from Slipknot, Corey Taylor, and Sebastian was the roast master.
Really?
And I got up and he didn't realize like people were going to make fun of him.
What, Sebastian Bach?
Yeah.
Because he thought he was the roast master. He didn't think he was.
Yeah.
people were
He
gonna
didn't
make
realize
fun.
he was going to be an easy
So he was a
target.
genuine idiot.
So by the
too.
time I got up, like everybody was like Craig Gass went up and said, Sebastian, I'm glad you're here. You're aging really well. You look like the rotting corpse of Farrah Fawcett. Florentine was like, I remember the early days of Skid Row. You used to go on the Howard Stern show and you take out your penis and tie it in a knot. If you could tie your lips in a knot, you'd still be in Skid Row right now. So by the time I got up there,
man.
he was furious.
Wow.
And I made a few jokes and he threw a hot coffee at me.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But it gave me a good like 6-minute bit on my album.
Yeah.
So.
Now I gotta listen to that. I love that kind of stuff. All right. Let's see if you can guess this next one. It's a toughie.
That's Extreme.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Extreme. And you had one of the guys on your show, I believe.
Oh yeah, those guys did the show.
One of the guys started singing with Van Halen, right?
Gary Sharon there.
Which-
Yep.
Oh, Mike, you already knew.
Where Mike has the arrow. Yep. And Gary, because Gary's a great singer and a great guy, but it's like after David Lee Roth, after Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, are you going to go? Are we going to go?
Oh, we're going to tailgate.
Oh, great.
Next
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah. We're going.
We're going.
Oh, great. Because I've been having trouble finding somebody to go with, so I'm so happy Victoria wanted to go, and then she said, I think Don's going to come.
Oh, we're all going. Yeah.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, the Sammy best of all worlds.
Yeah. I can't wait.
In
I
Jersey.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe this is sacrilegious to you, but I prefer Van Halen with Sammy. I love all those albums.
Wow.
I thought David Lee Roth was okay, but Sammy, I liked Sammy way before, so it was Sammy Hagar with a better band, and so I just can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I have somebody to go with. I miss all these shows. I missed the Kiss final thing because I couldn't find anybody to go with. So this is a dream. So what time are we getting?
Luckily,
there?
the Sklar brothers didn't start singing Van Halen.
Why are you going to bring them up again? I was having such a good time. All right, this next one's easy. I think for you.
Rat,
Yes,
yeah.
that's right. I had a feeling it might be. What's that? Milton Berle's kid or something?
Milton Berle's
his nephew, right?
Nephew
That's
was
right.
their manager. Yeah.
Was their manager?
Yeah.
I thought he was in the band.
No.
I always thought he was in the band.
No, and then Uncle Milty was in it.
Was in the video,
early
yeah.
video,
Oh, I
Round and
remember.
Round. Yeah.
Oh, Round and Round. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you think of them. They used to open. No, Bon Jovi used to open for them. And then
Yes.
it switched. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
remember.
I saw Bon Jovi open for Rad
Yeah.
at what was it, the Meadowland, called the Meadowlands back in Jersey back in the day.
The Burn Arena.
The Brendan
Brendan
Byrne
Byrne
Arena.
Arena,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm friendly with Dave Bryan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yeah. We went to
I
high
did
school
very
together.
well. He's the first guest on the new podcast Rockstrap.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me we know each other.
Yeah,
'Cause, great
Will
guy.
do.
And,
His daughter's a comic,
yes.
as you know,
Yes, she is.
Gabby Bryan.
What I like about Gabby is that she loves that her dad's in Bon Jovi. and
Yeah.
many times I had them both on this show before, and many times you see people that are embarrassed by that, and I love that she loves that her dad is in Bon Jovi, and I love that he's still in Bon Jovi, and he still does this. He's Tony winner and everything. It's fantastic,
And he's hilarious.
and I feel horrible about Diana. The COVID ruined his Broadway show and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
but he's fine.
Yeah. COVID drove his Diana car into an abutment. Sadly.
Yes, and his wife's really sweet too.
Yeah,
So,
Lexi. Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah, no, I look, Bon Jovi gets, I'm a Jersey guy. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily predisposed to like him, but David's an awesome dude.
I like him, but I liked Bon Jovi anyway. I loved them, and I never had a problem with them, and I love that they still he would always tell me, I was like, hey, do you want to come down? One time I was opening for Sarah Silverman in Atlantic City. Go, do you want to come? If you want to come down, if you're down the shore this week, because I know he has a place around, LBI or something. I said, if you want to come down, oh well, maybe there's something to that too. But
just
you want to come down? I think it's like 2,000 people. He's like, oh well, I think we're in Barcelona where it's like 1 million people, and I'm like, well, that's more. I was trying to impress him that I was performing for somebody. I'm like, what am I doing? He's like, no, it's an album year.
Are you going to open for Sarah on her tour? This new tour?
Not this tour, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes it comes last minute.
Yeah. So,
but I did on the last tour.
All right.
Now she has a boyfriend that Rory Albanese. So I think he does most of the opening now.
Gotcha.
Okay, what's the next? Let's see if you know this one. I would never have guessed this one, but you would know.
Well, I know all these guys in the modern age. So when I see these, I have to readjust.
No, I know. That's why I put the
but
younger
this is
one.
obviously Slayer.
Well, obviously to you.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed this. Mike, what about you?
I can recognize the guy on the left. That's the only one I can see.
You would have known it was Slayer?
No, but not that he said it. That's the only person I can tell that's from Slayer.
Well, Dave Lombardo, who you have the arrow on, looks nothing like that now.
I can see his nose.
The blonde guy,
well,
Jeff Hanneman's dead.
No, but it's the T-zone that it looks the same.
What's that?
The T-zone looks the same. That's what I was.
Yeah, Tom looks the same, and then Kerry King all the way on the end there on the right with the sunglasses and the long brown hair is bald with his head all tattooed.
I thought about doing the older ones, but the younger ones were more fun because most of them they look alike. The bands look alike, with their hair in it. But this band was different because they were more heavy than the glam ones. So that was kind of the gag of what I was doing. I thought the people watching would be amazed. Like, wait a minute, that looks just like the last band we had.
Speaking of balls.
He has an armadillo in his pants, in his trousers. All right, this one should be fairly simple because there's a. Right.
Talk about a band that starts to look alike after a while. Yeah, the Great White Snake.
That's right, David Coverdale.
Steve Vai playing guitar.
Oh, Steve Vai was in White Snake.
For sure.
You had him on multiple times. I think I have a picture coming up with you and Steve
on that
Vai.
metal show, and then he actually put out. Jim Florentine and I do these series of CDs called Terrorizing Telemarketers. And we have 7 volumes out of us just messing with telemarketers.
I know that. Right, of course. Because he used to start with that with Crank Yankers, right?
Yeah. And that predates Crank Yankers actually. But Steve Vai actually put out one of our Terrorizing Telemarketer albums.
I think I used to have a public access show. I don't know if you remember in the 90s in Manhattan. It was so huge because here only, and it's so funny if you ask any of my friends.
I only watched the Robin Bird show.
Right, it was on that same channel. So, but it was on at midnight. Everybody in
Marcy's
town
a rocker.
knew. Yeah, she's cool. She lives in Kentucky. But I think Steve Vai did well. I used his solo album for my opening theme because nobody cared back then. But I got to find it. I've been waiting to find it. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe Summer Song. No, that's Joe Satriani.
That was Satriani.
So,
yeah.
Well, at least I got that right. So,
yeah.
All right. What's the next one?
Who's out with Sammy playing guitar?
That's right. Yeah. He's amazing.
That's Winger.
That's right. And I know you had. So wait, what's the next one, Mike? I think it's. Now I know you had Kip Winger on your show. Did he ever? This kind of ruined. Does he joke about it now? I mean,
well, yeah, I actually got, so I'm on Jim and Eddie and I from that metal show host a cruise every year called the Monsters of Rock Cruise.
Oh, you do?
And Winger's on it fairly often, at least every other year. And what we've been doing the last few years is getting rock stars to do stand-up. because we always do stand up on the boat. So we're thinking, let's get a rock star to go up and do it. And Kip Winger was one of the first people we got to go up and do.
And he doesn't mind making. He gets
it.
it.
He said, He goes, I don't give a shit. Whatever
Whatever
you think.
Because they could kind of ruin them.
It totally did.
Yeah.
No, he'll tell you for real like that.
And I loved Winger, and then I felt like an idiot for liking them because that song was it Hanging on a Heartbeat? I think it's a do 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 do. Like whatever that song is, it's in my head all the time.
Headed for
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I realized, oh my God, I'm lame because of Beavis and Butthead, I felt horrible.
They got categorized from She's Only 17. So, which was such a kind of a very, obviously a very juvenile song, very, kind of, but that was a big hit for them back then. Yeah,
no, I know.
And so now when they play it, they adjust the age to the current time. So when they get to She's Only 17, they'll say she's only 53 or whatever.
That's funny. So he gets it. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I always felt bad. I think that was it. If you go to the next picture, I just have a great picture of you and the guys and Billy Corgan. And, you got to take pictures with all these people. I have a picture of a picture like this that I took at the Jimmy Kimmel show with me and Bowling for Soup. And I forgot to find, I know exactly where it is at my house and I forgot to bring it. I wanted to show
How do we end the show without a picture of you with Bowling for Soup?
I'll send it to you personally, but yeah. And the next one is Ace Frehley, of course.
Ace and Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, I love that you got to take all these photos with these guys, these legends. And then the last one I have is Geddy Lee, because that's cool. Because he could be the coolest out of actually all of them in many ways.
He was one of the first guests we ever had on.
Oh, is that right?
Thanks to Eddie's relationship with them.
Oh, he has a relationship.
And what a good dude, man. Him and Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, came on together.
I mean, those guys, three of them make all that music. It's not a joke. There's no behind the scenes. It's amazing.
Right. And it's this very proggy kind of stuff. Put it this way. They don't rival Motley Crue with the amount of women in their audience.
Right. No, we knew that, but
and so it's very kind of serious music, but those guys are so funny. And they would do funny things, like subtle things on stage that if you didn't pick up on it, you think, oh, these guys have no sense of humor. But they did a whole tour where they had a washing machine on stage, like right where the amplifiers were. So you see all these amps and there'd be a functional washing machine.
That's hilarious.
And the crew guys would come on stage and be washing their clothes during the show.
Oh, that's awesome that they have a great sense of humor.
They had a chicken rotisserie out there one time and they were cooking chickens in there.
But of course they did, because, he did the Great White North thing with Bob and Doug McKenzie at that time. And it made sense that they had a good sense of humor, which is kind of funny because now that he's written his biography, wasn't his mother a Holocaust survivor and shit?
Geddes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you got a sense of humor after, which of course this is what comedy is all based on with all the Jews, it all comes from that kind of tragedy. But I like to hear that. He seems like a really cool guy. It's so exciting that you got to meet all these kind of your heroes. You have all these rock heroes. Did you meet a lot of, I know you got to meet a lot of sports guys too. Have you met any of your comedy heroes?
Yeah. I mean, I did 10 years on the road with Dice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
10 years on the road with Dice?
Yeah.
He liked you that much? Like, I'm just,
I know it's hard to believe.
10 years. I mean, that's just, your acts are very different. I guess that's
what he
the
liked.
Key. Right.
Yeah, he didn't. That was,
so he liked trap. You're also a good hang, obviously, which is the only reason people ask me to open for them. Sometimes it's certainly not the comedy.
It's a big part of it. You know that. I mean, the hang is a big part, and Dice loves to hang. Like he'd always say, "Let's get the show out of the way."
Right. Oh my God, that's the way I feel.
Because he just wanted to go to the hotel and hang.
Oh, that's so nice.
And just bullshit or go to a mall and just annoy
people. Right. It wasn't about like partying and everything. He just wants to hang out.
No, he never partied. No,
did he never drank?
No. So
you drank, right?
Yeah, but
I love the after show beer.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. Just a can of beer after the show is like my favorite thing. I love when the show's over. It's just, I don't know, and that's my favorite part. It's over. I performed, even if it goes bad. You weren't there. I keep thinking maybe you were there. I was in Atlantic City Open for Artie Lang.
Oh, okay.
Ricky, not Ricky J. Ricky Velez was there. Russ Maneve, I don't know if you know him.
I
And
remember Russ,
Attell, I
yeah.
think, was there. And I got booed off stage.
Wow.
I got booed off. It was awesome. It was really funny. I mean, it's like, there were witnesses there that have friends. Outside Steve was there, from the Comedy Cellar.
Uh-huh.
So he could tell you it was all true. Got booed off.
You're gonna go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Bon
I
Jovi.
went out in a blaze of glory, and we all had a good time after. So
Yeah.
whatever happens, the after show is super fun, and you're partying with somebody good like that. I know you got to go and catch a boat. So let's just say
More
where
slides.
you're playing again. Well, I have more, but
Okay.
I knew we were going to run out of time because normally we just continue to talk. We just go for 90 minutes.
No, this is
2
great,
hours.
man.
So,
I appreciate.
but I know you want
This
to
is
catch the
fun,
boat
man.
home, which is so cool. You will be next Saturday. Saturday.
I have a club to get to be assaulted in. So.
But next Saturday, not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
No, this coming
This
Saturday.
Saturday, the 16th.
Yes.
Or no, this is this. I'm gonna. What is next Saturday? The 20th.
No, this Saturday is the 20th.
The 20th, you'll be in Butler, now famous Butler, Pennsylvania, at the Helltown Tap Room, and on Sunday with Jim Florentine, both times, Laughingstock Comedy Club in Grenville, Pennsylvania. He'll be at the Comic Strip Live right uptown, right on the 26th of July.
Two shows up there.
That's a Thursday, I think.
It's a Friday.
Or it's Friday.
Next Friday.
And then Thursday, August 1st, you'll be at the Parks Casino in Pennsylvania. Also, I saw there was That Metal Show reunion.
No, that's just for Jim and I for that Granville show.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were I was at Uncle Vinny's for the first time last summer. I didn't know you were the first comic on there ever.
Ever.
That was fascinating.
Yeah, to take the stage there. Yeah.
Are you performing there this summer? Are you there once a year?
I do probably like 4 times a year.
Oh, you do 4 times a year.
Yeah, so I'm done there till November again, which is fine. I
loved it there, but I don't think the owner likes me very much. You didn't ask him anything.
We'll have to, but we're gonna have to massage you back.
Oh, good, because I really like it there. It's a good crowd for me. It's a Jersey crowd.
Yeah,
I love it, and I would appreciate that because I really like it.
Yeah,
and I bought a lot of people too. I was opening for Rachel Feinstein, and I bought a lot of, and I think he has to know who the opener is, so I think you gave me the okay. So I did fine, but I just felt like I was in the room with him because the green room is his office.
Yeah.
And I think he just wanted me to leave, but I didn't know where to go.
Hang.
I wasn't a good hang that day. Well, it's because it was before the show.
Yeah.
So then I was drinking after, so anyway, for me, I will be, we'll be here next week. We'll be remote with Molly Heckerling, Amy Heckerling's, Harold Ramis's daughter.
Wow.
We'll be remote again. The week after that, we have Artie Lang's sister, Stacy Lang, on right here in the studio.
Will you show them the glam metal slides as well and see if they can identify any of those bands?
I'm not going to waste my time with showing Stacy. There's no way. But if Artie was here, I would totally do it.
Yeah.
And Tuesday, August 13th, as you all know now, I'm having my birthday show here at the Village Underground, 6:00 show. Right now, the lineup is our friend Nick Griffin and Mark Norman. And Sarah Silverman is supposed to be there. We'll see. And then Monday, the 12th, I'll be opening for Questlove. Me and Alon will be opening for Questlove at the Blue Note right across the street. So Jay Santiago says, Don, what's your favorite genre of comedy? Genre of comedy. That's why it threw me off.
This is the most inside of inside
jokes.
Oh,
it is.
So our friend Joe Curry, who's a comic from Long Island, did my old podcast, and he was like, what genre of music do you like?
Okay,
so he was trying to say
really
genre,
right. That it threw me off when I saw it.
And when a comic fucks up, that's 3 years ago, and people are still on.
It's like
saying genre.
That's how Baba Booey got started. For Christ's sakes, I'll never forget listening to that show. He goes, I don't think that's the name of the thing. Oh my God, to this day. Holy shit.
So Joe Janier Curry.
That's funny. Mike, where you were at with Rich Voss this past weekend?
Oh yeah.
How did that go?
It was great.
Live. It was great. Mm-hmm. And where are you going to be this week or coming up?
I'll be at the Creek in the Cave on Thursday, and then the Black Rabbit on Saturday.
That's in Texas.
Yeah, in Austin.
He traveled.
Friday
that's
I'll be
nice.
in San Antonio at the station.
Right. That's why we're remote next week, but we can be here when he's in town. That's perfect. Anyway, Don, thank you so much for coming. This was so much fun.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
telling you, I really could have talked for another. I had so much more to do. I really would love to do Name That Tune with you. But it's too bad.
Well, we have to do a
Me too.
post, Sammy Hagar.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would
Jersey
be great.
show hang.
That would be okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's plenty to do.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming in all the way from New Jersey to be here today. Don takes a boat in to join us on the Atlantic Ocean. It's like a cruise, but really appreciate it. It was so much fun. So anyway, everybody have a great week. And Mike, I'll see you next week remotely. You'll be in Texas. I'll be at my house, and then we'll be back. I hope everybody's having a good summer, and make sure you come down to the Comedy Cellar all the time. It's the best comedy club in the country, and we'll all see you next week on the Comedy Cellar Nightly. Good night, everybody.